It's a two-man show, and you are listening or watching or both to my Brothers and Idiot, the podcast. It's me and the idiot. Mark, how's it going, bud?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful Wednesday night here in the city. I have a bottle of Amethyst. This is grapefruit basil Amethyst. It is a non-alcoholic substitute, and I have mixed it with the Twisted Botanist out of Arizona. This is peach mint. So grapefruit, basil, peach, and mint, and having that as a cocktail here.
Very good.
Also, just cracked open a can of the Partake Oktoberfest.
Okay, how is it?
Which I have not even had it yet. So,
okay.
More to come as soon as I take a sip right here.
Well, I mean, let's just get right into it. I mean, we got to have a live reaction to the Partake O-Fest.
Yeah, it's Partake. So, it's not bad. 30 calories. They're doing a lot with a 30 calorie, basically seltzer, with a little bit of hop water. They actually kind of nail the flavor once you get under there and find it. But it's hard to find on the top. But there's actually, interesting on the back note, there's actually quite a bit of toastiness, a little bit of toasty on there, which I actually kind of like in an Oktoberfest and a Marzen lager. But you have to wait for it. It's very effervescent. Now, to be fair, I did pop these. They were at room temperature when I got them home about 3 hours ago. And I did pop them in the freezer for 2 hours to get them to temperature, but they're not frozen at all. They're It's nice and solid. It's just very effervescent. The color appears to be, just looking through the can, it appears to be kind of thin-ish Marzen lager looking-ish. But yeah, the flavor of the Marzen is there. It's just underneath everything, and you get that kind of nice toastiness. So
nice. Little bit of a toasty malt sort of
at
undertone
the
there.
Very end, yeah.
I
have to wait for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's worth drinking for sure.
Well, speaking of not perfect, there was a football game on Sunday. Mark?
Oh, goodness.
What happened?
You saw a team that I don't know if I think they bought their hype a little bit and played like they were supposed to win without actually wanting to win. Sean Payton has called 2 terrible games in a row. Honestly, 3 pretty bad games in a row, but they got away with one in the first one. Did you know, Matt, that they have lost the last 2 games, having either been tied or having winning all of the fourth quarter of each of the last 2 games and lost both of them? Did you know that?
Yes.
That is an insane statistic. That just shows you that there is a proclivity to fall apart before they should, and you saw it. Each game was different. This one, I don't know. They just fell apart. Sean Payton is just not. He's not getting out of his own way again. It just doesn't look good. And you let them come back, and you let them crawl their way back in. And Justin Herbert, who looks like a man possessed. Like, that is, if Josh Allen wasn't the easy AFC MVP, Justin Herbert's your guy right there. Holy crap. Something happened this offseason. Like, he's always been pretty good, but they've kind of let him loose, and it's insane. And I love watching Keenan Allen. I'm sorry that he's a Charger, but Keenan Allen's great to watch. So it's fun watching the Chargers. And the Broncos and Chargers are actually entertaining to watch, which, holy crap, it's been a while since that's happened. But you hate to be on the losing end of it.
Yeah, I look at it a little bit differently than you do. One, I do absolutely agree. Justin Herbert is the truth. He was making some throws on Sunday that were just absolutely insane. Ridiculous. Like those windows, that one touchdown on the left side of the end zone to Keenan was just, you can't cover it any better than that.
No.
Right? You just can't. I don't necessarily put this one on Sean. I put this one squarely on the shoulders of the poor quarterback play, particularly on the deep throw. We saw this several times last year where we always thought, if Bo can just figure out how to hit Troy Franklin on a bomb, how many times did we say it last year? 3 or 4 times, right?
At least.
He can just figure out that pass. How many of those throws did he miss on Sunday? 3 to my count.
At least 3, probably
right?
3, between 3 and 5.
Yeah, the game plan and the scheme were there. He hits one of those throws, they win the game.
Right.
This defense is absolutely ridiculous, and I 100% wholeheartedly reject the notion that's out there in the local sports media that Riley Moss needs to go. Let's look at a couple things here. Riley Moss is the second most targeted defensive player in the league. He has given up in 3 games 170 yards, so 56 yards a game, which I can live with, and less than 50% completion percentage. I can also live with that too, with a guy who's being targeted more than everyone else save one person, and I don't know who that is. It's probably the person playing across from Sauce Gardner. That's just my guess. Yeah, I don't know. I could look it up.
I was typing that out as you said that. I'm like,
you could have just asked. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt. You're going.
You're fine. So I completely reject the notion that Riley Moss isn't playing well. And I'm looking at you, Josh Dover. Shut your face, because he was trying to run with this narrative. It's like, well, it's the eye test. You don't know what you're looking at, you dumbass. I don't care. This pass rush is awesome. I do have some questions with the depth at linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
We learned just before the game that Greenlaw is now on IR.
God, what a blow.
Yeah, for 4 weeks. Hopefully, they'll figure out something with some of the young kids. It's not going to be, and we'll get into it more later, I don't think it's going to be a huge issue this week. But I'm glad they paid Benito when they did, because he is playing some of the best football we've seen since 58 was in his prime.
Yep.
Hufanga, that's the other bit of this, that number one, the quarterback didn't play well enough. Number two, it looks like the defense is trying to do too much, and the penalties on the defensive side are extending drives where they shouldn't. And that's definitely costing the team, but that's a minor component to the loss. I think this is squarely on Bo Nix. The other thing here is this. We know that Sean Payton's teams notoriously start slow. Guess what? We're starting slow. We get a get-right game this week, and then we get into Sean-tober, where his record in October is just ridiculous over the course of his career. So it's going to ramp up. It's going to get better. I just need more growth out of Bo, and I think we're going to get it. He's playing better in the first 3 weeks than he played in the first 3 weeks last year. So if we take those two groups of games and compare them to each other, he's ahead of where he was last year at the same time. If he continues the growth in the season like he did last year, he's going to have a much better season than he did last year. And then we can take that sophomore slump and flush it. Now, they're now 3 games behind the Chargers for the lead in the division with the loss. It's only 2 games in the division, but they get the tiebreaker. Get a chance to play Kansas City later on. The Raiders are trash, so they still have an outside shot at the division, and I think they're still going to be a playoff team. But Bo's got to get better. That's just all there is to it. So more from him, please. That's my ask.
Their 2 losses are against 2 of the remaining 3-0 teams.
Correct. And that also says something.
Yeah.
I think the Chargers are, if they're not 1, they're 1A with Buffalo. And Buffalo had a scare, right? And you mentioned Josh Allen as being the MVP. I think it's closer than that. I think it's Josh and Herbert. I think between Allen and Herbert, it's that's your MVP race. And whoever has the better season, let the chips fall where they may, because he is playing like his hair is on fire. And Indy's better than everybody thought they were. It's amazing what you can do with an outstanding running back and a halfway competent quarterback. We'll see if they can sustain it. Who knows? But signs are pointing to, yeah, they're actually playing pretty well too. So yeah, 1-2. Don't like that kind of result. The schedule gets a little bit easier with a couple of speed bumps along the way, but they've got a runway here, and I think there's more good things to come. The nods don't translate well over podcasts, sir, because a lot of people just
yeah, no, I'm in agreement with you. The big thing for me too is where do we go with this Sean Payton offense? It's a bit stagnant at this point. I know Bo has a lot to do with that, but we still have yet to see a second target fully develop. We've seen flashes from Troy Franklin, but then in that game, he was the number one target because Cortland Sutton disappeared. Evan Ingram really hasn't been there much. Hopefully Pat Bryant comes along. He's had a couple of catches. He had a couple of big catches in this last game. Hopefully we get more from him, but I'd love to see what we can do with a real tight end. Hopefully he gets right and comes back, because I'd like to see what Evan Ingram can do.
Yeah, having him not be on the field is definitely hurting. We do get Nate Atkins back this week, so
that's nice.
Hopefully we'll get a little bit more of a running attack. I do want to say, I mean, Cortland had a great game, right? 6 catches, 118 yards, and a score. So it was 2 weeks ago that he disappeared.
That's what I meant. When Troy Franklin had that big game 2 weeks ago,
right?
That's when Court was, kind of not necessarily non-existent, but the targets weren't coming his way.
Yeah. The problem is that your second leading receiver in the game on Sunday was RJ Harvey.
Yes.
He had 3 catches for 14 yards. That's a problem. So yeah, but here's what's going on right now. The defenses have figured out, because of the year in tape, and we all know they get a year of tape on you, and they're going to start taking away what you do best. What does Bo do best? He throws the ball short best, right? And that leads into what Sean likes to do best, right? So they're forcing Bo to take some of these longer throws, which he isn't necessarily comfortable with. I don't think his fundamentals are right. There's some franticness to his feet.
Yes.
Especially when there doesn't have to be. Like, I get throwing on the run. I get when he moves, and he's an incredible athlete and can move in and out of the pocket and is a threat to run at any time. I would like to see a little bit more of that at times, but whatever. But he needs to settle down just a little bit. And that's all on Davis Webb. Like, Davis has got to get in this guy's head and calm down, set your feet, throw the ball. Right. It'll get better. I have full faith that it's going to get better. So
it's just rough right now.
Yeah, it's September in a Sean Payton team. I mean,
you're 2 kicks from being 3-0.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You're a penalty from being 2-1.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jesus, unbelievable. All right, that's enough of that. Let's talk about what's coming up and get into some pew pick'em. Take it away.
Let's talk about pew pick'em. Let's talk about Okay, anyways, let's get into pew pick'em, and let's start with the Thursday night. Did you like that reference? Did you like it? You did it, and I went kind of there. You said it twice.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways. Okay. So clearly, I am not as funny as I thought I was. Thursday night.
You get that a lot.
I know. I won't ever stop, though. That's the best part. Anyways, let's talk about Thursday night football this week. First off, we need to talk about some people that aren't here. Normally on this bit, we have a dipshit with us. She is not with us. We did have the help of the Duchess, again, with the formulas and all the things on here. But because the dipshit is not here, and because the Duchess has done her bit for the day, they have left us some lovely notes on our little spreadsheet so that we can give them to you. So we'll start with the Arizona Cardinals, who are at home against the Seattle the birds. They're birds. Sea chickens. And MJ says that the shitty birds versus the slightly less shitty birds. This is the battle of the two not very good birds. This game is not a very good game on Thursday Night Football. Sorry there, Jeff Bezos. The spread is Arizona is a home dog by 1.5 in this one. The over-under is 43.5. The Duchess took Arizona, MJ picks the Seahawks. What do you think, Matt?
The James Conner injury, I think, means a lot more in this offense than maybe some people are talking about right now. This is big trouble for Kyler, because that's his as small as Kyler is, James Conner is a huge running back, especially what we're seeing lately. If you take Derrick Henry and throw him out the window, this is trouble for Arizona, not having that steady veteran presence who's a really good football player. And that ankle should not have turned the way that it turned, and it was just awful. The Cardinals could not beat a severely undermanned 49ers team. I don't see any way that a well-coached Seattle team that's playing pretty well right now does not win this game. I do think they cover. Give me the under, because I think Seattle's defense is going to scheme up something pretty significant.
Dokie, thank you for that. Let's carry on to the next game. This one is do we have a foreign game? This is the week that we get our first overseas
this game. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure I tagged that one right. So this is the next game actually on the docket. It'll be bright and early Sunday morning. That's 7:30 in the morning here in Denver. That's because that's where we're based out of, is the Denver area. So Mountain Standard Time is the time that we care about. Everybody else, who cares? So we've got the Steelers going into Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Vikings are home dogs in this one by 2.5 points. The over-under in this is 41.5. MJ says, I'm taking the Vikings. And the Duchess says that this is probably the only time that you'll ever see her taking the Vikings, because she does not like the Vikings, as we all know. Matt, what do you think about this one?
I haven't got the slightest idea how Minnesota's not favored in this game. This line is the one that makes the least sense to me. Minnesota's playing very well. They're good defensively. Carson's doing just enough. Kevin O'Connell is proving to be one of the best young coaches in the league right before our very eyes, and they are playing very, very well. Give me the Vikes, and I think that this is an over.
Thank you, sir. Let's talk about Washington, which is where the Commanders play. They're not there today or Sunday, whenever this game is, Sunday. They're playing in Atlanta against the Dirty Birds of Atlanta. The Falcons will be there. They are the home dogs, the Atlanta Falcons, by 1.5. 45.5 points is the over-under. MJ goes, caw, because she's picking the Birds all the way. The Duchess went the other way with the Washington Commanders. Matt, what do you think about this game?
There's something wrong in Georgia right now. There is far too much offensive talent on this team for them to be playing as bad as they are. They got blanked in Carolina. That's a problem. Raheem Moore may be in trouble and may join some other folks on the NFL coaching hot seat if they can't get Michael Penix Jr. right, especially with the level of talent they have. Just looking at a receiver, a running back, and a tight end, let alone the other two receivers. There's something going on here, and I can't quite put my finger on it. I haven't watched enough Atlanta football to really break it down, but there's something going on, and I don't like it. This is going to be the Washington Commanders all the way. I do believe they cover, and give me the under, because I have no confidence that the Falcons are going to be able to score.
They are a football team. Remember when they were a football team?
Correct.
Remember that?
They should have been the Red Tails. I'm saying it again. They should have been the Red Tails. That would have been just perfect.
But they were, we play football. Guess what we are? We're the football team. Yay!
Utah had a hockey team for a while too. I mean,
I get that's a thing in soccer leagues and stuff like that. But it's just funny in the NFL. It's like, we're the football team.
That's what football. We play football.
We made a mistake with our previous name, so now we're just a football team for a while because we can't be trusted with creativity.
Exactly.
Okay, let's carry on from that. The next game on the docket is the aforementioned 3-0 Los Angeles, Las Vegas, San Diego Chargers. They're going to New York actually New Jersey, to take on the Giants, who are not doing very well and have some issues as well. Lots of issues. The spread in this one is the Giants are road dogs by 6.5 points. That's almost a full touchdown in favor of the Chargers. 44 is the over-under in this one. MJ says that the Chargers might be the truth, but Scatabo gets a touchdown, probably gives somebody a concussion. I threw that last little bit in there. The Duchess takes the Giants. I'm assuming MJ takes the Chargers in this one. Matt, what do you think about this?
Yeah. If you haven't heard the news yet out there in Goon Squad land, Brian Daboll has gone full desperation and has picked the second best quarterback on the team to start rather than give him a little bit more time to marinate. They are starting the rookie Jackson Dart. Yes, it's at home, but it is against a very good football team, and it's not going to be very pretty. Daboll, put in Jameis, and let's just call it good, right? He's the best quarterback on the team. And even more, I don't know if you heard the press conference. Daboll actually said that Russ is the backup. Russ is the backup over Jameis. Yes.
Oh my God.
I don't understand it. This is just full trying to save my job mode right here.
Yeah.
It stinks in New York on more than one front. Chargers are making a statement as one of the best teams in the league. Give me the Chargers to cover, and I'll take the under.
Under. This game sucks, okay? Titans, Texans in Houston. Texans favored by a touchdown. The over-under in this one, I believe, is the lowest of the week at 38.5. It is. That's because this game sucks. MJ is taking the Titans. I'm assuming that means she's taking the Titans because of the touchdown favorite, but she might be taking the Titans outright because MJ just doesn't care about this game. In addition to that, the Duchess just says, whatever Hubman want, I don't care. So, Matt, what do you think about this terrible, terrible football contest?
3 games into the season, Brian Callahan, in his immense wisdom, has decided to pass off play calling responsibilities. So they are now going to their second play caller in 3 weeks for the rookie quarterback. Now, normally when a head coach who's a play caller passes off play calling responsibilities, who does that person, who does he hand them off to?
Usually it's the offensive coordinator.
Usually the offensive coordinator. No, in Tennessee, they're going with the quarterback's coach. So now you have a head coach who's an offensive guy, allegedly. You've got an offensive coordinator, but the quarterback coach is calling plays. I hope it works out. I really do like Cam Ward. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's an amazing athlete. I think he's going to be okay as long as the league doesn't fail another young quarterback. There are problems in Tennessee, and they're headed for another awful season. Houston's just good enough. CJ Stroud is back to validating the theory that Ohio State quarterbacks are trash. But the Texans are good enough to win this game. They will cover and give me the under.
A lot of cover unders.
Yeah.
Cover under. A lot of cover under. Okay, let's talk about the next game. And this one is also, well, not also, but this one is an NFC showdown. This one is the battle of the Bucks and the Eagles. Actually, kind of a good game if you think about it. Vegas doesn't think so. Vegas thinks so, kind of. The Buccaneers are a 3.5 point underdog at home. The over-under in this one is 44 points. MJ says Eagles go crunch, go Burbs. Duchess as well as going with the Eagles. Matt, are you going to make it a clean sweep?
I am. The Bucks played okay, but still needed a miracle to beat the dumpster fire Jets. And Mike Evans' hamstring has flared up again. Emeka Egbuka is not going to be good enough, especially with no Chris Godwin in the offing anywhere. I have zero confidence in their ability to score. Eagles can score with anyone. They're a really good football team. Very well could be the class of the NFC as they've shown us so far. Give me the Eagles to cover the spread, and I will take the over.
Over. Over. Did you see that? Did you see that tweet from Lane Kiffin this week?
Yeah.
I think I shared it with you.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. That's an over you want to hammer right there.
His daughter's announced a relationship with someone from LSU, and somebody said I should hammer the over in that game. Yeah. And Lane Kiffin said that would be a good idea to hammer the over.
Yeah.
So, more to come on that. I actually haven't even looked at that game. Maybe we should bet that one. See what that one looks like and put a little.
I need some time to research. Yeah, that'll be a different show.
We'll talk about that one off air and join you on Twitter and tell you what we saw on that one.
There you
go. Anyways, let's carry on to the next game, and this is the Battle of Peas. And by that I mean these are two teams that have names that mascots start with P. Very Sesame Street of me. The Panthers are going into Patriot Town to take on the Patriots. They'll be up there in Gillette Stadium. The Patriots are 5.5-point favorites. Actually, a team that's actually at home that's favored at home. Over under in this one is 43.5. This MJ says, fuck ass game 2, electric boogaloo, as she always does. She picks the Patriots. Duchess goes the other way and picks the Panthers. What do you think about the Kitties versus the old guys in hats?
The Pats lost last week, despite outgaining Pittsburgh 369 yards to 203 and running 22 more plays because they lost the turnover battle 5-1. A Mike Vrabel coach football team is not going to have that happen 2 weeks in a row. Give me the Pats to win. I don't believe that they will cover because I do think that Carolina has enough offensive firepower to score and keep it at least moderately close, and I'll take the under.
All right. Next game on the docket, we are going up to this game. I think I should just lead this one.
Just read it. Yeah, just read it. And I have 7 words. 7
okay.
Words.
So Bills, Saints, Bills favored by 16.5, 47.5. MJ says that the Saints may cease to exist. They may cease to exist. An X franchise. And that's how bad they get crunched. That's how hard they get crunched. Duchess is picking the Saints with the points. What do you think?
Bills, but backdoor cover by the Saints in the under.
BD cover. Under. BD, that would actually be an under, but we'll just leave it there. Because this is wonderful radio.
Typing. We are typing.
Another terrible game coming up here. Although we saw that the Browns are not quite dead last week. Everyone got fooled by that one. The Browns, who coming off a unexpected win against the Green Bay Packers last week, going into Detroit to take on the Lions. The Lions are favored at home by 9. 44.5 is the over-under in this one. MJ says the Browns may cease to exist. They might be an X franchise as well. She also says, get fucked, assholes.
Beautiful.
The Duchess picks the Browns because they beat the Pack. They need to destroy the Lions. So there you go. What do you think, Matt?
The Browns aren't going to sneak up on anybody anymore. They do have some defensive teeth, and they do have a running game. I told you at the beginning of the season, watch out for this Quinshon Judkins kid. He is an absolutely outstanding talent, and he seems to have it rolling early and is taking RB1. Milty has him in our league, and I offered him a trade. I'm like, I need that kid on my team. Come on. Talk about it. You're not even playing him. Lions have their mojo back. I don't know how much of that game you watched. That play calling that John Moore had going was very reminiscent of what the Lions had done the last 5 years. He was in his bag, and it was glorious to see. I think he's finally tapped into, what does this team do well? Everything. So let's just do everything. Because of the Browns' good defense and their running game, I don't suspect this is going to be a high-scoring game. Give me the Lions to cover, but I will take the under.
Did you catch Amon-Ra St. Brown's hot mic?
Loved it.
One of the sneakiest, funniest talents in the NFL, that guy. His antics on the field are hilarious.
He's hysterical.
Yeah.
You know, his first language was German?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, so he and his brother were both born on an Air Force base in Germany because their dad was military, right?
Right.
And their dad married a German woman, and she only spoke to the kids in German.
That's amazing.
Yeah. He still goes back. Amazing. He still goes back and hosts like camps and talks to people in Germany. And they're both great people. Like he and Equanimous, who I don't even think is even in the league anymore. But
I don't think he's on a roster. Yeah.
They have a good podcast.
Yeah, they're both really awesome listens. He's a funny guy. God, he's funny. And insanely talented. Man, he is so athletic.
And super smart.
That touchdown he scored was amazing. You know, he just comes up with these plays. It's like, oh my God, forget about it.
Agreed.
Let's talk about the Niners and Jags, shall we? This one's in Santa Clara, California. The Niners. Yeah.
Okay.
It's written down here.
Okay.
There's
Wait,
words.
let me do my best Jay Perlis. Okay.
There's words. I need to read them.
Okay. Neither did I.
It's painful. Sucks for me to read too, okay? We just got to get through it. Right.
Okay, do it.
We were just speaking of getting through it. We were watching before we jumped on here. We were watching. I had never seen a episode of Try Guys. Have you seen this Try Guys thing? It's a YouTube thing. I guess they've been around for a while. They're really funny. It's a bunch of dudes that just try things. And the episode that we watched was they all get waxed together, full body waxed, and they're all in the room watching and commenting. And that just get over with it. It got said a lot, you know. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time watching those guys get waxed. So if you get a chance to go check that out, go watch the Try Guys getting waxed. they a couple of the guys do the full undercarriage too, and those bits are hysterical. Oh, she's getting in there with the stick. Anyways, back to the shitty game we were talking about. It's the 49ers and Jaguars. Niners are favored by 3, mostly because they're the home team, and I don't think Vegas cares about this one either. 47 points is the over-under in this game. The Jags are picked by Michaela because she says, why not? MJ picks the 49ers because Joe Montana is her mom's favorite player. So there.
MJ or the Duchess?
The Duchess, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. There you go. What do you think, Matt?
It took everything San Francisco had and an outstanding catch and run by Christian McCaffrey for the Niners to beat Arizona after James Conner left the game. I do not look for that to happen again with Mac Jones this week because, as we all know, Mac Jones is trash. Jags win this game, but I will take the under.
Sounds good to me. A game that's actually pretty fascinating. The undefeated Colts go on the road to LA to take on the Rams, who are, man, that offense is spectacular, huh? And fun to watch. Those guys are fun. This is the Colts and Rams in LA. The home team is favored by 3.5 points. The over-under in this one is 49.5, which I believe is the highest over-under of the week. MJ asked the questions. Are the Colts good? No. Rams. Better. Next question, I think. I don't know. There's no punctuation, so I'm just kind of reading it how I think she would read it. And as I read it, it makes no sense. So I'll read it again one more time before my nose starts bleeding. Are the Colts good? No Rams. Better next question.
No
Rams.
No.
No. Rams
No.
better.
Rams better. Yeah. There you
Next
go.
question. There we go. Yeah. No,
There you
Rams
go.
better. Next question. Anyways, and then the Duchess picks the Colts. What do you think about this one, Matt?
Two of the better running backs in the game in this or in the league in this game with Kyron Williams and Jonathan Taylor. The struggle here for Indianapolis is an Eastern time zone team traveling to the Pacific time zone. That always seems to be a struggle. If Indianapolis can make the Los Angeles passing game a one-man show again, where it's all Puka all the time and just live with that and then hold everyone else down, they've got a chance here. I don't know if they can do it. Lots of running in this game. I think we're going to see a ton of rushing yards. Give me the Rams to cover here, but I will take the under.
Sounds good to me. You know what doesn't sound good to me, though?
The next fucking game.
The next game on the docket, which is the
It could be
Bears.
fun if you're a Bears fan.
Yeah, I suppose they're favored by 1 point, the Bears. You know who they're playing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet the audience would like to know, right?
The Raiders.
The Las Vegas Raiders are at home taking on the Chicago Bears. The Bears are favored by a point on the road. There's an over-under of 48 points in this game. MJ says, go Delulu. Bears rock now because Raiders suck. The Duchess thinks that they both are terrible and they want them both to lose, which is awesome to me. I would like it if that happened. What do you think, Matt?
Raiders definitely have some offensive problems with their two stars. Ashton Genty has not played to expectations, and I'm going to say it again, there's something wrong with Brock Bowers. Mm-hmm. I do not expect Trey Tucker to repeat his 8 catches for 145 yards and 3 touchdowns again, because who the fuck was that guy before last week? Just didn't make any sense. I do look for the Bears to continue to roll. I think maybe the offensive coaching staff has figured out what to do. Bears win and give me the over.
Sounds good to me. Let's talk about the Ravens and Chiefs, which would have been the game of the week a couple of weeks ago and still might be the game of the week. There's not very many great games on this week's slate. Nope, this is definitely the game of the week. This is the Ravens and Chiefs. This one's in Kansas City. Kansas City! Did you see that the Kansas City the guy who does the announcing in the PA guy for the Chiefs quit a couple weeks ago?
Yeah,
because they wouldn't let him do his third down thing anymore.
Yeah.
What a jabroni.
It's like asking Connor McGahee not to say incomplete.
Right.
What are you doing?
Right. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Anyways, the Chiefs are taking on the Ravens. They are underdogs at home by 2.5 points. I'm pretty sure that hasn't happened in a very long time. 48.5 points is the over-under in this one. MJ says the best game of a midweek. Yeah, that's basically what I said too. She also said that the Ravens curb stomped the Chiefs, and the Duchess agrees. So, Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, between this game, the Colts and the Rams game, and the Eagles-Bucks game, the marquee matchups aren't fantastic. This one on paper and just by name value is probably the game of the week. However, there's still a lot of problems in Kansas City. Let's not start thinking that Kansas City has everything figured out just because they beat Russ and the Giants. Okay, let's just not go there, people. The Ravens are going to be pissed the way they get their 2 losses last week with the turnover fest and the way that the Lions played. And then, the first game against Buffalo, which is one of the best games I've ever seen ever. Derrick Henry, and I'm going to channel my inner Jim Ross here, may stomp a mud hole in the Kansas City linebacking crew and walk it dry a la Stone Cold Steve Austin. Hey, Mark, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Would you care to guess who the leading rusher is for the Kansas City Chiefs 3 games into the season?
Ooh, 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 ooh. You mean the only player that plays for them anymore? Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah. Hey, Mark, is that sustainable?
That is not sustainable,
That
Matt.
is not sustainable. Their second leading rusher only has 95 yards. Patrick's out rushing him by 30. You cannot be the leading rusher on your team as the quarterback in the modern NFL by more than 30% and expect to continue to win football games.
They're going to kill Patty.
Oh my God, he may die. Look for let's just look for Travis Kelce and Andy Reid to yell at each other again, because it's not going to go well. Ravens win, and I'll take the under.
All right. The next game on the docket, we'll just get it in here right now. Dun, 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 dun. Go, Pack, go. This is the Green Bay Packers going on the road to Dallas, where Michaela really hopes that window breaks. She's been asking for this 3 weeks in a row, and one of those weeks the Dallas Cowboys were actually on the road. This is the Cowboys at home taking on the Green Bay Packers in a matchup of NFC giants of yonder years and now. MJ says that the big dumb window she wants to break. She wants to say, tune in to this week's episode of the Cowboys Lose, and the big episode, then the big window breaks. She's really wants the big dumb window to break in the stadium. The Cowboys are underdogs by 7 points in this one. Man, there are some giant road or home dogs this week. Some just giant numbers.
And I don't think I've picked a single one of them.
I don't think you have.
Which is so not me.
It's
like,
such not.
But they're such thing. Trash. Like, oh my
God. 47.5 is the over under in this one. I don't think I have to tell you what the Duchess says, because she says, go back up. And then, yeah, big dumb window. Matt, what do you think about the big dumb window, go Pack, go thing?
Well, I mean, big dumb window. I think, first of all, I think Michaela used all of her witchcraft a few years ago when she broke both of Carson Wentz's ankles in one game.
Never stop reminding her of that.
Never, ever stop reminding her of that. It's also a good thing that the Duchess didn't tempt the football gods by filling out Packers in everybody's slot when she did this spreadsheet, which obviously led to the Packers laying an egg against Cleveland last week. They also are going to be big mad about losing that game. That's a game they definitely should have had last week, and they're far too talented on both sides of the football. CD is out. He's going to be out for at least another 3 weeks with a high ankle sprain. Look for Jerry Jones's eyeball to pop out in rage a la Alien Earth in this game. Give me Green Bay to cover, and I'll take the over.
All right. We're almost through it, guys. Let's talk about, are there 2 Monday Night Football games again?
There are. Week? Yeah. 5 and 6.
Okay. Well, at least it's not the late one. But anyways, we're going to talk about the first Monday Night Football game, and that one is the Jets and the Dolphins. This one's in Miami. This game is going to be terrible. 2.5 points is the spread in favor of the home team, the Miami Dolphins. 45 points is the over under this one. Michaela calls it fuck ass game number 3. The Jets win to keep my narrative from last week alive, which
I'm sure it has
because
the Dolphins.
No, it has something to do with the fact that Aaron Rodgers isn't there anymore, so she wants them to continue winning. And the Duchess likes the Jets because they're a New York team, and that's her favorite city, so she's going to pick the Jets. So there you go. Matt, Dolphins, Jets, what do you think?
The Dolphins showed last week that they haven't quit on their coach. That was more about them playing better than expected than it was about the Bills taking them lightly. I think they played very well in that football game and were actually driving to win the game until Michaela's favorite Tua turned the ball over, threw it right to the opposing team. Hey, Mark, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who do you think the leading rusher was for the Jets last week?
Fuck, it was that quarterback. Was it their quarterback?
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor. I can't even
remember. A team that has Breece Hall on it had Tyrod Taylor as their number 1 rusher. Let's say it with me, that's not sustainable. good God, it doesn't bode well. The Jets are a flaming dung heap right now. This is in Miami. Look for the Dolphins to win. They'll cover, and I'll take the under because Tua's going to throw picks.
And it's going to be a bad football game.
Bad football game.
I'll tell you about what I was kind of distracted by here in a minute, but I had to figure out some math, and I'm still trying to figure it out. 1,000, million, billion, trillion. Okay. I had to figure out how big this number was I'm about to read.
Okay.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
I had to add some comments in there, commas in there just to try to figure it out. So
Yeah.
I'm going to butcher this number, but there's a big number coming. It's going to be hilarious, and I'm going to do terribly reading it. So I apologize in advance to Michaela for butchering your bit that you probably just key jammed in here. Anyways, the Bengals and the Broncos are happening Monday night as well, and we care about that game the most, well, because we're Broncos fans. The Broncos are the home team in this one. They are favored at home by a touchdown and a half a point. 7.5 points is the spread in this one. 44 is the over-under in this one. God, I hope the Broncos can just win it easily. I just realized the Duchess picked the Bengals.
I saw
that. It's a bad job by her, but I'll talk about
bad job. Yeah, bad job by her. You need to have a little chat.
You know what? She's probably, I'm going to assume she means with the points, and then she's probably doing a good job with that because I think it's going to be much closer than the 7.5, just because that's the way the Broncos have been playing. But MJ doesn't think so. She says that she is full Delulu. There is nothing wrong. The Broncos win by 839,284,729 points. Matt, what do you think about this one?
Get right game for the Broncos. The Bengals can't play defense. They have no offensive line. Jake Browning has regressed. It is just not the quarterback that he was a few years ago. Here's what I think is going to happen. I see this as being like 28-10. Look for Vance to channel his inner Vic Fangio and run some combo coverage. I really think they're going to bracket Jamar Chase and then let PS2 follow T. Higgins all over the field. And if Noah Fant beats us, then we absolutely deserve to lose the football game if that's the way that goes, because it's just not going to be a thing. The Broncos have the number one pass rush in the league. More sacks, more hits, more pressures. Lights out. Jake Browning may leave Denver in several pieces. We mentioned it earlier. Nick Bonito is playing absolutely spectacular football. The other rush ends are doing well. The interior of the defensive line is playing very well. It's a great offensive line in terms of what the analytics say. We may not be rushing as well, but I think that has more to do with scheme than it does with actually rushing the football. However, like I said, 28-10, Broncos win. They will cover, but because that's a 38-point game, that is going to be the under.
Cal Raleigh is about to make dipshit a poor bitch.
Did she bet something on Cal Raleigh?
Probably a.
Did you take the under on 60 or 50 or whatever it is?
Maybe she can't hear us, so she won't be able to respond. But
Okay.
I'm assuming she at least had a bet on getting 60 tonight, since I don't think he's hit
maybe
it.
that was it.
Yeah. So, but either way, the dipshit checking in live from Seattle at a Mariners game 2 nights in a row. Sounds like she's having a blast.
Right.
So there you go. And so there you go. The Broncos win. We all think so, except for one of us.
And the dipshit says, okay, bye. She'll update us when he does. So
okay, sounds good. We will get an update, quite possibly live on air. That's Pew Pew Pick'em for week 3.
All right, well done. No dipshit this week because we don't have a dipshit, so I'm not going to do the dipshit. Final thoughts. Talk about the things. Mark, take it away.
I've got absolutely nothing. I'm going to go have an edible and enjoy my Friday night.
It's Wednesday.
For you.
I see. Copy that, Ghostwriter. Make sure you catch us on all of our social channels. You can find My Brother's an Idiot on Facebook. All you have to do is look for that logo. See, I did it again.
You did it.
Out.
2 weeks in a row
2
is
weeks in
almost
a row,
a streak.
I pointed, right? You won. That's 2 in a row. You win tomorrow. That's called a winning streak.
I just watched that movie like 2 nights ago.
Bull Durham's so good. So you can catch us there on Facebook. You can also catch us on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok at The Idiot Goons. Mark's Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok are at Poffle Time. You can find me at Twitch and Twitter at Poffleopagus and on TikTok at King Goon Smoke. For the absent Muty, we love you, Muty. For the absent dipshit, have all the funs in Seattle. I know you can't hear us, but bye. Have fun. For Mark, I am the king. Make sure you take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and take care of each other. This has been My Brother's an Idiot. We'll catch you next time. See ya, bruh.